Now, here's the MLBbro TV show, the best from MLBbro.com with Rob Parker. Let's go.
Sponsored by Hidden Soul. For the most exclusive kicks on the planet, go to hiddensoul.com. Welcome to the weekend. There were so many great stories on MLBbro.com this past week. In case you missed some, we'll take a look back. Let's start here. On 1st to 3rd, Malik Wright sits down with Astros manager Dusty Baker.
How you like the city?
Well, I love the city. You know, I've been going to Houston, for years and years and years. And my first wife was from Lake Charles, Louisiana, and a whole bunch of her families from Houston. My best friend, Ralph Garr, and roommate from Houston. His kids are my god kids out of Missouri City. And so, like, I know a whole bunch about Houston. I'm just shocked on how fast Houston has grown. I mean, that is a major city now, and it's a sports town, big time sports town.
Yes, sir. Now, you're creeping in on that top 10 all-time manager win list. Is that something that you think about, or just as you represent black managers, that's not a feat many see?
Well, I wasn't thinking about it until a couple years ago. You know, the clubhouse guy, a few years ago, the clubhouse guy in Cincinnati, he would come in and tell me who I passed on the list coming up, and I didn't even think about it. And then, you know, as I creep in on 2000, you start, I would keep lineup cards from different guys that I had passed, Casey Stengel, Tom Lasorda, and just different guys. But, it's something that, I'm proud of to hopefully motivate other brothers that might want to be in my position, because there should be more black managers that are qualified to be in the position that I'm in. And I hear from a lot of Americans, predominantly black Americans, that tell me, what I've accomplished, or they're pulling for us because of that. And hopefully, like I said, this will motivate some kids and motivate some other guys that might want to manage.
A bro you need to know is a Bo, as in Bo Jackson, the two-sport star. A bro you need to know is a Bo you need to know, as in Bo Jackson, the two-sport star who played in both the NFL and in Major League Baseball. Bo was a running back for the Los Angeles Raiders and an outfielder for the Kansas City Royals. He also accomplished something no other player has done. He was an all-star in the NFL and an all-star in baseball. Bo Jackson's best year was 1989 with the Kansas City Royals. He batted .256 with 32 home runs and 105 RBIs. He was voted as a starter in the All-Star game for the American League and also won the MVP of that game. Bo's talents were on display in that game. In the first inning, he saved 2 runs with a great catch in the outfield in the top of the first, and in the bottom of the first, he hit a 448-foot home run. Unfortunately, Bo's two-sport days were over in 1991 when he had a hip injury and had to retire from football. Bo continued to play baseball until 1994. Bo Jackson, a two-sport star and a bro you need to know. On Debatable, Mark Gray discusses the MLBbro MVP candidates.
Take the mythic season of Ohtani from the Angels off the grid. Is he a legitimate MVP contender?
Wow, it's a good question. I think the only thing that might hurt him there is because he has a stint on, has had a stint or two on the injured list. But with that being said, to your point, yeah, you can't deny when he's in the lineup, that team is that much better. You know what I mean? This season, but you can't take away what Vlad Guerrero's been doing up there as well too. You know what I mean? Like Vlad's been putting, he hasn't been putting up gaudy, consistent numbers, but the stat line shows, and he's, his power numbers are there, and it's, that's also been contributing to their team a lot too. Their pitching has been a lot better over the past, month. So that's kind of helped them tremendously. So yeah, but Simeon, I'm not going to deny Simeon. I'm not going to flat out give it all to him, though. That's a pretty good team that they have up there and a pretty good mix of players.
Anybody who puts like Fernando Tatis in the MVP candidacy for the National League needs to take a look at what's going on, because without Manny Machado in the middle of that lineup, Hosmer maybe, I'm not quite sure he's doing what he does. Vlad Guerrero is having a transcendent season, but let's be real about this. He's a much better offensive player when Simeon's in that lineup also.
Rachel Hill gives her 2 cents on Giants outfielder Lamont Wade Jr.
Late game Lamont or Lamont for the lead are 2 of the nicknames that are being given to Lamont Wade Jr. He's had some late game heroics that have been clutch as of recent, and Wade improved to 9 for 15 in the 9th inning this season with 9 RBI. So I chose late game Lamont because he's dope and I just like it best of all. Late game Lamont is a key component to the Giants being in first place in the NL West. And right now they are the best team in baseball, and they should seriously be contending for a World Series because they're just that good. Wade Jr. states that he tries to stick to the hitting game plan that is given to him by his hitting coaches. He would rather those hits come earlier in the games, but he's happy that they are coming late in games and helping propel his team to victory. That plan, coupled with a 2-hit day, races OPS to 852, but he's particularly dangerous when it matters the most, even when he's not trying to be. And he has a 1.073 OPS in what is deemed high leverage situations. And that ability to execute made him a target for the Giants this offseason, who acquired the outfielder from the Minnesota Twins in exchange for reliever Sean Anderson. That trade has paid off handsomely for the Giants. They have a good and young defender with plenty of upside who is in their prime at 27 years of age. And Wade Jr. is slashing 257, 333, 852. Late game Lamont is a player to watch because he's a good defender and hitter. Besides, what is better in baseball than a come from behind victory? And what is more exciting than to see a bro lead the comeback? This is Rachel Hill with my 2 cents for MLBbro.com.
Brandon Carr gives you the facts on Derek Jeter's roots in Michigan.
New York Yankees legend Derek Jeter is a Michigan man, despite never playing for U of M. As a baseball star at Kalamazoo Central High, Jeter has signed a national letter of intent to play for the Michigan Wolverines baseball team. And then the Yankees made him the number 6 overall pick in the first round, where he signed an $800,000 deal with the Bronx Bombers that included a $700,000 bonus, which was enough to cover the full ride to Michigan that Jeter was giving up. He took classes at Michigan in the fall semester of 1992 after playing in the minors for the Yankees. However, when the Yankees asked Jeter to play in the instructional league in 1993, he withdrew from his classes and never returned to college. While playing in the majors, the captain was the first Jordan Brand endorsed baseball athlete signed in 1999, in which he still has his line. So when the brand teamed up with the Wolverines in 2016, Jeter found his way back to his beloved school, which resulted in this sweet gear. And as they say, the rest is history. Congratulations on the Hall of Fame induction, Jeter. For one Michigan man to another, respect.
And Homeboy Highlights winner this past week was Mookie Betts, the right fielder of the Los Angeles Dodgers. In a season filled with so many injuries, Mookie Betts is finally healthy, and it shows. He's hit in 5 straight games and 8 out of his last 9. During that stretch, Mookie Betts is batting .379, going 11 for 29. In his last 2 games against the San Diego Padres, Betts has 4 hits and 6 RBI. On Saturday, Betts hit a game-tying 3-run homer and now has 21 home runs on the season. Betts' hot bat allowed the Dodgers to sweep the Padres this weekend. That's why Mookie Betts is this week's homeboy. That's our show for this week. I'm Rob Parker. We'll see you again next weekend. And all week long, check in on MLBbro.com for the best coverage of black and brown major leaguers.